What is up, fight fans? Welcome to Wrestle Wednesday live. And do not adjust your TV set. You're not on TV.
Tablets.
Yeah, do not adjust your electronic devices. This is not an old episode of Split Decision. This is just an episode with the OG duo, Johnny the Dad, and this guy.
Angel kicks balls, baby.
That's what he does. That's what he does, baby. Yeah, we we're a little cut down to size. Everybody is working and or doing family things, and you know what? Sometimes you just got to run with Old Faithful, the OG tag team of Split Decision. And
Yeah.
that's us. That's us. So you won't have any of the fancy sound bites cuz Tyler is usually the one that does that, but you
Fancy
know.
mofo.
So we're going to talk a little bit of AEW Forbidden Door. We're going to, of course, talk about Raw and SmackDown as per usual. And stay tuned till the end. We're going to talk some UFC 303 results and what that means for a lot of fighters moving forward. So stay tuned to the end for that. Angel, let's talk some Forbidden Door.
Hey, before we get started on Forbidden Door, hey, shout out to my girlfriend for dropping off some Dutch Bros. A little Red Bull drink. Maybe we'll get sponsorship later on so I can drink unlimited Dutch Bros. Let's go.
Yeah. She didn't drop me nothing off, so you know,
No
whatever.
hyper speed car here.
Yeah, whatever.
But
Could
yeah,
have
Forbidden Door.
DoorDash something to the crib, but it's you know what? It's all good. Just whatever. You know, I'm just here for you, Angel. I'm just here for you.
Let's talk some Forbidden Door, baby. I wish you had
Or
some picks.
some not so Forbidden Door because these guys wrestle each other all the time.
Yeah, literally. There were some matches that I'm like, man, what's the point of this? But there were some good matches on the show. The trios pre-show match, some people were saying it stole the show.
A pre-show match that stole the show, huh?
Yep, I think it was the Lucha Bros and Mystico versus a couple guys from New Japan, and they were just, you already know, the luchador Mexicans just high flying all over the place.
Yeah, a lot of rope work, a lot of they.
A lot of
Yeah,
locks.
I didn't watch the pre-show to be honest, so I missed that one. Did
Neither
you
did
watch
I,
it?
but it was trending on Twitter like the whole night because they were like, dude, this match stole the show. They're going at it. And I hear Pentagon's contract's coming up too. So interesting that he's on the pre-show. And there's WWE rumors.
Could see him in the LWO or
Mm,
El Gato del Fantasma, maybe.
very
Be
great.
a good
Very,
addition.
very underused. Like in Mexico, him and his brother are like, yeah, they're also tag team, but they're also like singles wise, like big stars over there. So
Pentagon, I've always thought I feel like you know how there's always those tag teams where it's like, yes, they work great as a tag team, but there's always like an A side and a B side to the tag team. Like in my opinion, like Jeff Hardy always far outshined Matt Hardy. Um
it's like
Not so
3 weeks in a
much
row that we
anymore.
met. 3 weeks in a row that we mentioned Jeff Hardy, by the way, because I just keep doing this
Uh,
every week.
you're speaking them into existence over here.
Yeah, we're gonna bring him
But
back.
also I feel that way about Pentagon and Ray Phoenix as well. Like I feel like I like Ray Phoenix. He's great in the ring and everything, but Pentagon, there's just something about him that's cooler. Like he's got
Cool
cooler
mask.
gear, cool mask, cool face paint under the mask. And he's just as good, if not better, than Ray Phoenix in the ring. Um,
Yeah.
so I would like to see a singles run from him. That's not to say like
Was
I
he?
don't know because I feel like a singles run for Ray Phoenix wouldn't really work. And I like Ray Phoenix, but I want to see Pentagon go out on his own. So it's little weird. But like I thought he should hold a title in AEW. Like
Yep.
he should hold a like if he were to make the jump over to WWE, he's somebody I could see chasing a US title or a IC title.
Yeah,
So
because
why has he not held the TNT championship?
I want to say he did for a little bit, but I can't remember that far back. I know it was like at the very first stages, but I'm not too sure. I know it was Cody, Sammy, Cody again, Sammy again. uh, the dude from the Wyatt family,
Yeah, yeah. Brody
Brody
Lee.
Lee, rest in peace. And then after that, I kind of lost track. You're
I'm
looking
trying
at
to look up at all my AEW action figures. I see Brody Lee with the TNT strap and
Darby Allen.
Sammy Guevara with the TNT strap.
Darby Allen had it for a little
Darby
bit.
Allen had it for a minute. Uh yeah, I don't think Pentagon ever
I
did.
don't think he did. Yeah, I think
Let
I know
us
they were
know in the
tag
comments
champs.
if we're let us know in the comments if we're wrong on that. Cuz I think it was just always tag and then they held the trios
Oh yeah,
and
tag and trios. That's what it was.
uh and he was in the tournament. Remember when they brought that what is it? It like the international title or something like
Oh, the
that.
Continental. Yeah, I'm losing
Yeah.
track of these names. Oh, I have a fun
I don't
fact for
know.
you, by the way.
What's that? Those are some sick Power Rangers helmets back there.
Yes, sir. Well, y'all want anyone to come up, play, dress up, and come over.
Okay,
uh,
what's the fun fact?
fun fact: WWE actually has more belts than AEW. Someone proved it on Twitter.
Really?
It's
What's the count at? But that's
13.
counting NXT, Raw, SmackDown.
Well, they got AEW, ROH, CML, New Japan. But yeah, AEW is at 13 and WWE is at 14.
Now that is news to me, but I still think it's different, right? I think it's different because there's such a brand split in the WWE where like an NXT title is never going to be defended on Raw or SmackDown. Raw title stays on Raw. SmackDown title stays on SmackDown. Like they're all split up.
Yeah.
You know, like even when it comes to like the IC and the US title, it's like those are part of whatever brand they are like at the time and they don't cross over. So I don't know. I think it's different, but I mean, either way, I think there's too many titles in wrestling. Like period.
Yeah.
WWE or AEW. Like what I want to see is one championship per show. You know, like you can have a Raw and a SmackDown champion, right? We've always had that.
Yeah.
One championship per show, tag titles, and that goes for male and female. Like one championship and tag titles, and that's all you need. Like because it, you know, like because then you get the stuff like with Cody versus uh Logan Paul when and Logan was like, I'm a champion too. And it's like, well, yeah, like, but they're not exactly the same. Like there should be one champion.
Yep.
It's how it was back in the day.
Yes, sir.
So
Not all kinds of belts, but I mean, I like it. It keeps us entertained, and they could go on for hours, and everyone kind of gets a shot at it eventually.
yeah, yeah.
I do want to talk. MJF did fight Hechicero. Uh, I still don't understand that whole match, but Hechicero is he was getting like promoted kind of heavily on AEW, so I wonder if that was the case to build up for this match, which MJF won, by the way.
which was a decent match. Like it was a good match. It wasn't like match of the year by any means, but it was like okay, all right, like that's I'll watch it. I'll watch it. It's pretty
I did.
solid.
I saw a MJF interview and they talked about him. Like, oh, how come you're not coming for the title? What are you waiting for? Like, you just came
I
back.
saw that.
And he's like, oh, I'm picking him up a spot. Strickland's real hot right now. I don't want to mess with that guy. That kind of seems weak to me. Imagine if the Rock's
The Yeah, that came off as weird to me as well. Like,
beta.
well, I mean, I think he played it off well, where he was like, "I didn't get where I am by not." He's like, "I'm the." He kind of did his thing where he's like, "Everybody else can work hard. I'm gonna work smart," but it's like
What does
if you look
what he
at it
does?
that way, it's like okay, cool, that's kind of in character. But if you look at it like the other way, it's like, so are you telling us like within kayfabe, like in character, you're scared of Swerve Strickland? Like, is that what you're telling us?
Yeah,
Like, so yeah, it was a little fucky.
yeah. I didn't like it. I don't know. It's just to me, maybe because he stiffed WWE, but I don't know. Just something seems different. It's not the same. Could be just biased as fuck.
Well, I just think that it's a booking decision on them not wanting to cheapen and which there was actually Will Osprey said something about this, or somebody said this about Will Osprey said this like, and it wasn't supposed to get out, like it was like backstage kind of stuff. That Will Osprey didn't want to beat Swerve at this show because he didn't want to make Swerve out to be like a placeholder champion until either him or MJF got the championship. Like he wanted Swerve to have a legitimate championship run. And
Wow.
and good on Will Ospreay for that. And I
Yeah.
think that's what the company as a whole was thinking, because it's like, yeah, if you come in and like MJF immediately like wins the title, or Will Ospreay or whoever, then it's like, okay, so Swerve was your champion when you had like nobody
Mm-hmm.
of like that people really were excited about. And so yeah, you give it to Swerve, and then the second you get a hot hand coming in, you're just gonna take it off them.
I wonder if the low numbers has something to do with that.
With Swerve being champion.
Yeah, I wonder if that's why they're like, all right, let's pull the plug on this because the numbers aren't moving with him as champ.
Well, I think if that was the case, they would have taken it off him at this show.
True,
But
but I like Swerve. I think he's red hot right
I
now.
like Swerve too.
Like the
I like Swerve too. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Swerve a lot, but like when building a company, or not building a company, when running a company, does Swerve Strickland demand the kind of star power that other companies have for their champion? Like, I don't know. I don't know, because he's not
mm,
exactly a household name.
no,
So I don't know. I like Swerve and I like his character. I like Swerve, to me is like pretty solid across the board. Mike, character, in-ring work, look, gear, like kind of checks all of those boxes,
mm-hmm.
but it's just like, is he a big enough name
Yeah,
to yeah, but I think eventually we will see. He got his win over Will Ospreay,
great
uh
match.
which I think legitimizes his championship run. And I think that's going to be like kind of the big one. Maybe he gets a couple more title defenses and then drops it.
Yeah, I think that's what happens. I like that gear that Osprey wore. By the way, it was in memory of some wrestler from Japan. Was in WCW for a little bit. Hira something.
I would have to go look it up, but
He wore the same mask that he wore on the entrance.
oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
That was pretty
Uh
cool.
so let's talk about that match. What did you think of that match?
Second best match in that show. I really like the Lucha one, but I think second best match. That ending was pretty epic. It took two of those swerve moves to take him out.
Yeah, I thought it was a great match. I would give that one like probably a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Here's what stopped it from being a 5. So I thought it was a little bit too much of like a spot fest.
Mm.
Like
That's
it
AEW
was,
for you.
yeah, but it was very much in on brand for AEW, which was spot after spot after spot, no sell, no sell, no sell. Um, but that being said, it looked great. Uh, no major flaws or botches or anything like that. So
How long did they go for? Because
they
they
went
went on
a
pretty late.
they went a while. I want to say they went over 30 minutes,
Yeah.
but
I was like, it's 10 o'clock. Oh damn, there's still another match. Holy snap!
I'm just realizing we didn't change the name of our stream, so I'm doing that now. Do you want to you got did anything else stick out to Oh, well wait, there's one big thing that stuck out. A certain
Well,
return.
mm, first of all, I just heard about this girl from Mexico that was the champ that Mercedes Monet fought. Dude, she is good. Like she is good. Stephanie Vaquer, she is good. I want WWE to sign her. That's how good she is. She has the look. She has the moves. Do it.
Yeah, I thought she was good. That was by far Mercedes' best match since she's been back. Um,
Good.
yeah, she was booed.
They're saying,
Uh,
"Fuck the Celtics."
I think a lot of her like that being a great match was on the other girl, not Mercedes, but she did keep up. You know, there's takes two to tango.
Yep.
So I will give flowers where flowers are due. This was a good outing for Mercedes. Whether the crowd hated her or not, it was a good outing for her.
Now, Johnny,
Um,
what did you think of that return? I'll let you take it away.
oh, real quick before we get into that, uh, what do you think? I've seen a lot of hate on Mercedes Monet that it since it came out that she has total creative control for herself and that she immediately has two titles
In
on
three
her
matches.
and yeah, and it's like in 3 matches and okay, now we all know you wrote this for yourself and all of a sudden you have two belts. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Now I know why she didn't like the WWE, didn't want to cave into her demands. Because, dude, yeah, how do you have two titles in 3 matches? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Not even Hulk Hogan dreamed that far.
I think it's pretty dirty for somebody to come in and do that when there's other people that have been there week in and week out grinding and haven't even gotten a title shot, much less getting two straps.
When have we
Uh,
seen Anna Jay be a champion?
Anna Jay hasn't done it. Trish Statlander hasn't done it. Um, there's Sky
Paige.
Blue,
Paige.
Saraya, Ruby Soho. Um, none of them have held titles, and then
She has two.
Mercedes Monet is gonna come in and just snag two of them real quick. I
I
think
wouldn't
that's
be
pretty
surprised if
dirty.
if she beats Tony Storm for the third one.
I mean, at this point, it wouldn't. I don't. It shouldn't shock anybody.
She thinks she's
Uh,
Pereira.
but yeah, she's gonna be like, "I was the first triple champ," and
Nobody
we all know
cares.
that was Henry Cejudo. So
Oh yeah,
like,
Triple C baby. Well,
but
Kenny Omega held like five at one point.
oh yeah, Kenny Omega's the dog. Miss him. I miss that dude. Uh, but yeah, then we get the return
We have talked about
of
her for a long time.
yeah, my second favorite after Becky Lynch, second favorite female wrestler, favorite on AEW, Dr. Britt Baker. DMD. She's back. She's back. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited now since she came returned a couple days ago. I of course have seen all of the
Hate.
haters on online showing like botches that she's had and just overall bad matches that she's had, which like there's validity to those, you know. I'm not saying she's the most technically gifted wrestler that's like no, I like her character, I like her look, uh I like her mic skills and all that, and she's always needed a little bit of work in the on the in-ring portion of it.
Hmm.
But she doesn't suck in ring, like not at all. Just she's not the best in the ring, and so hopefully she was able to get some training in, come back, look great, and I'm excited to see what storylines this pushes forward. Um, I know that she's going to be interacting with Mercedes right off the rip, you would assume, because why else would she return then? But once that's over, I'm interested to see who else she interacts with. Does she go straight for the AEW women's title? Um, I don't
Does
know.
Hater come back?
Does who come back?
Hater.
Does Jamie Hayter come back? I'd like to see them come back and feud. Um, I would love that. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm
She got
excited.
she got a pop.
I've been waiting for Britt Baker to come back. How many times have I asked, "Where's Britt Baker? Where's Britt Baker? Where's Britt Baker?" And she's back. So I
How long is
will
that? A year?
be damn close, if not.
More? I think more
Yeah,
than a year.
yeah. I'm trying to remember because she left not too long. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not too long after the whole
CM Punk
Adam
thing.
Cole and Jericho feud where he had Adam Cole handcuffed. Remember that? Like she wasn't there too long after that, right?
Oh, that's a
Or
while
I
back.
could be way off. That was a long time ago.
That seems about right.
But
It's been a while.
yeah, I'm excited for her to be back. What do you think about it?
You know me, I'm a Britt Baker hater, but I'm glad she's back. I'm glad she got that pop. Like, man, build that second division of women in AEW. Tony's doing a great job in the main event spot, and this now that Mercedes has it, like now it feels like both titles are equally important now.
Yeah, I hope they don't just like feed Britt Baker to
I saw that. I saw that.
Mercedes Monet though.
I saw those concerns on Twitter.
Please don't do that. Like don't feed this wrestler that I love so much to this wrestler that I like detest.
I hope. I
I
hope for her next belt from Britt Baker, she takes her man or something. Take go from her. Take everything from her.
But moving on from Forbidden Door, you want to talk a little Raw and or SmackDown and Raw?
Yes, sir. I do want to mention that John Moxley lost the title, and the elite.
He lost the the New Japan Junior Heavyweight, right? Or
No, the main one.
oh, he had the main one.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, he lost it to Tanahashi. No, who was it? Oh, Naito.
Well, that's good.
Oh,
Give New Japan their title back.
also Jack Perry won the title, TNT title. That's all.
Ugh.
You don't like
Uh,
ratings. You don't like ratings.
oh, and AEW actually booked Orange Cassidy to lose a match, which almost never happens.
Shocking.
Uh, Zack Saber Jr. Uh,
Oh,
got him to tap out. So
one last thing, they're doing that super show with AEW, CML,
yeah,
and
they're calling it. I forget what they're calling it, like Super Showdown or something like that.
in Japan.
It's basically just Forbidden Door 2. Like,
Even more forbidden, bigger door.
yeah, Forbidden Door.
I just
Uh,
at that point I'm like, who wants to take an L at that point? I don't even. Yeah, we'll see who takes an L. That affects your whole company if you take an L. Imagine you go and you don't win one match.
yeah. But what happened on SmackDown?
What didn't happen on SmackDown? You want to go from the main point?
Yeah. Let's try and keep the show short today, so we'll just hit the
They killed my boy
mains.
Paul Heyman. They killed my boy Paul Heyman. They killed the white.
Dude, they got him. they
They
got
they,
him.
they shield bombed him, man.
They got his ass.
I, hey, shout out to Paul Heyman for staying up for like 6 days and looking like god, like dog shit, because he looked horrible.
I like that he did the whole like you were not my tribal chief and like threw the mic and then he was like I'm gonna die. Oh man, they shield bombed him. Hey, shout out to him. I know he's hurting right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe that's a good way to take him off TV for a little bit, and then you know, it's Bloodlines getting some heat. They're slowly growing on me ever since Jacob showed up.
So this leads me to believe that because we still haven't found a fourth member of for Team Cody in the match, right?
Uh,
Because it's Cody, Randy, and KO right now.
mhm.
I would think it has to be CM Punk, right? With them attacking Paul Heyman, he's got to come defend his boy, right?
Yeah, you would hope like
Because like the other option would be Roman, but it's too soon for that. Like there's no chance that Roman's returning at Money in the Bank.
no, that'd be a waste of a return.
Yeah, like if it were SummerSlam, I could argue that that's a big enough show for Roman to come back, but he ain't coming back for Money in the Bank.
Nah.
So I would think it has to be CM Punk, which is still really cool. Still gonna be a good match. Excited to see Jacob Fatu run through those guys.
Do you have the
But
stars lose to the bloodline? It only grows, makes them look stronger
I think I would have them.
by cheating, of course.
Yeah, by bloodline, fuckery. I would have
Rules.
them. Yeah, I think I would have the bloodline win this one. Cause if not, then it's like, all right, they're done, they're beaten. Like, there's no big bad guy if they don't. What about so that was the big takeaway from SmackDown, right?
Uh, we got those basketball players showed up. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you had Jalen Brunson and uh
Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton.
I wonder if
But
that
they didn't
grows.
like
We do have a SummerSlam, and we're probably gonna have to see Logan versus LA Knight there. And what if it's like a tag team like that? That'd be cool.
I could see that. What if they got LeBron and Bronny?
Yeah, go get a job, Bronny. Now you're off college. Go get a job. Go to
He's got a
school.
job. His daddy got him a
Oh
job.
yeah, Nepo. Was that Nepo baby?
Yeah, Nepo baby Bronny. But so yeah, that was SmackDown Raw.
Raw was wild.
Should we just talk about it? Should we?
Wyatt Six.
Dude, cinema.
Cinema. Hey,
Like
they need to stop picking on my boy Chad Gable. I'm about to go up in WWE, help him out. He ain't got no family.
that video was directly talking about Chad Gable. Like he's got to pay for his sins and uh turned his back on his family and everything. Like, so Chad, you're fucked, buddy.
They're gonna
Uh
put another bullet in your head.
right. um I've seen a lot of theories online that is like, does Chad Gable, because they're going to interfere in some kind of way at Money in the
Hmm.
Bank. So do you think they interfere before the match, uh, leading Chad Gable to not even be in the Money in the Bank match, or do you think they
Ooh.
interfere
Right when he's about to
during the
win it.
match, causing him to lose?
Right when he's about to win it, all the lights go off.
I think that would be the cooler way to do it. Um, but I think either way, this leads to something I do not want,
Which
and I
is
hope I'm wrong. I think either way, this leads to Jey Uso winning Money in the Bank.
no, please don't.
Like, I think it does.
I hope not. I'm
I don't want it to happen.
main event Uso that doesn't win it main events. No thank.
I would like to see. Uh, you know what I would like? I
Mm-hmm.
would like Drew to win Money in the Bank. He has already said he is going to win and cash in on the same night. So I would like for Drew to win, and then I would like for him to interfere in Seth and Damien's match, like when they're both down or something, and pin Damien
Mm.
and be like, "You did it to me, I did it to you," and
My
like I got it back,
sexual undertaker.
because Damien has to lose to get kicked out of the Judgment Day. Like, so I
What?
think that would be a cool way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Kind of ties up a whole thing with Drew in there, and yeah, and then you got Drew holding a title finally, which I don't know.
Then CM Punk comes in.
What if he runs out there to do that and then CM Punk interferes
Dude, if we did
and
it a
makes him
third
waste
time,
his money in the bank?
that would be cinema. I would love to see that. And then we get Drew just chasing CM Punk down for the rest of the year.
I think Drew might actually kill CM Punk in real life if that happened.
That dude is massive. I would not want to piss that guy off.
Yeah.
Speaking of
I
Judgment
think
Day,
it's time, but
we're getting this close for them breaking up. And then they're teasing Rhea coming back.
yeah, there.
She's
I
pissed.
I think.
And I'm hearing rumors
What rumors are you hearing?
that she doesn't come back alone.
She comes back with Buddy,
House of Black?
the entire House of Black.
The entire House of Black? Imagine that.
Dude, I would love to see Brody King in the WWE.
Oh yeah, he's not like every other big man. He's fast, he's quick, he's agile.
Got a cool look.
Like if I was wrestling, that's what I would look like. Just out of shape, but going hardcore all the time. That'll be me.
I think Brody King. I think Brody King would do great.
Yeah, he's great. I'm surprised he
Um,
doesn't get a singles run. Like he could destroy anybody.
He like whenever ROH was its own thing, he like ran ROH.
I can
So
see why. I can see why. That guy does not belong in the trio.
no. I mean, well, I think House of Black is cool. Like I think it could work. I think they've been used really weirdly in AEW, but I like the trio of having like they basically have small, medium, large with like sizing wise, like and like they do cool like tag team style moves. So I like them. I just wish they were used better. Uh, but I think all three of those guys could be successful singles runs.
Yep. And we're getting this whole Dom and Liv thing. It's getting out of control now. Rey Mysterio is involved. Zelina wants to get the belt. It's synchronizing pretty good there. And then you got Finn and Priest talking about splitting the band because he's not. You're not the same you used to be before the title. I'm invested in that storyline, by the way.
I'm way more invested than I was a couple months ago. I'll give you that. Uh, but do we buy like Zelina as like a threat? She's like 4'2".
We know she's holding that belt until Rhea comes back.
Yeah,
Everyone.
like I'm sorry, Zelina, not believable. Not
Also,
believable.
that Braun Breaker segment. Oh my goodness, that boy looking jacked. He needs to just spear Sami Zayn and win the title in like 5 seconds. I'm tired of seeing Sami hold that belt.
I've also been seeing online, um, people don't think Sammy's gonna drop the title like in Canada, but it's like there's no way Braun Breaker's getting pinned by Sami Zayn, right?
I would. We're gonna riot if he does. He did get some offensive moves on him. So
I think Sammy's got to drop the title here. Braun Breaker,
like it's an afterthought at this point of like the Intercontinental title. It's dead right now. No one really cares about it.
but if Braun had it, it would bring that shine back to it.
Yeah, because you got a freaking beast holding that belt. Who's gonna want to challenge him? That's the scary part.
Yeah, like
He's saying.
I feel like Braun needs this title so that we can start pushing him to the main titles.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of needs to check this box so he can move on.
Yeah, win that one, and then go feud with Seth, Drew, Damian. That's pretty much all the guys in the main event right now. It's not Ron
Seth, Drew,
desperately needs.
Damian, Cody.
I like on Raw though.
Yeah.
So Braun needs to desperately be one of these like 4 or 5 pillars up in there. It's not looking like a lot of us heavy stars right now on Raw. Maybe that's why it's getting pushed down to 2 hours when they go to Netflix.
Well, also there will be no commercial breaks and no
Ooh,
anything like
true.
that. So
Yeah, I hope we get like nonstop. Just watch him go to the bag, like a live show. Just watch him go to the bag and
yeah,
fix the ring, all that cool stuff. What
but what's up?
I was wondering if that's gonna affect the sales on live shows or like, but I don't think so. People love going to go see wrestling. I know I do.
I think it's only going to grow when it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's a worldwide. Oh, did you see Triple H didn't call it a sport?
I did not see that.
Triple H said it's actors pretending that they're in a sport. Triple H words, not mine.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I was like, hey man, watch your mouth. Fraud.
Triple H, those are fighting words, bro.
Swear to me, damn it.
But you want to move on to some UFC?
Bruh. Let's talk some UFC.
All right, man. Give it to
Card.
me.
First off, Ian Gary versus Venom Page. News fest. Ian Gary, you won, but at what cost? He bet Venom Page that he would knock him out in the first round, and if he didn't, he could sleep with his wife. It went to a split decision.
Wait, what?
Yeah, dude, I saw this on Twitter, and Venom Page is now asking, "Yeah, you won. That's cool, but when do I get to sleep with your wife?" Hey, bro, don't be betting your wife if you're not gonna knock somebody out. You're over here wrestling and stuff.
Okay, I was actually gonna ask you, why is Ian Gary so hated? Because I haven't been paying attention to Ian Gary like outside of the octagon.
Because he acts like he's Conor McGregor, but he fights like I want to say Khabib, like a wrestler, but more boring. No knockout. I mean, no tap outs, no nothing. Just winning by decision. Boring. Just boring fighter.
Yeah, I'm not
But
gonna
he's
root for
undefeated.
a guy that bets his wife.
He's undefeated though, and he
He
has
is undefeated.
five.
He's 15-0.
Yep. But
But
everyone hates him because he talks like he's Conor McGregor, but he fights like a boring wrestler, which is effective. But bro, I'm not gonna pay money to see you wrestle.
so, would you say that the Michael Venom Page experiment in the UFC has failed?
I mean, I think everyone knew as soon as he fought a wrestler that that's what was gonna happen.
Because all of his fights have been boring so far.
Yeah, he's an older fighter. That's what happens. You get an older fighter; they're not ready to. He's past his prime, like maybe 5, 6 years ago. 6 years ago, he was in his prime, just knocking people out. Right now, brother, this is why you weren't in the UFC. You were somewhere else. I think Bellator, kicking everyone's ass, but no one was watching you. Like if you knock someone out, it'll trend on Twitter, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think the Michael Venom Page experiment is over.
Yep.
Um, I don't care to see him fight in the UFC anymore. But
If you do, you have to put him against someone that just wants to fight, punches, kicking. If you put him against a wrestler, it's gonna be a boring fight.
yeah,
And that is the
but
story with all the fighters that are not in the UFC. He's like, dude, you come to the UFC, someone's gonna take you down and choke you out or stuff like that. And yeah,
it's like even the brawlers, right? Like, are you telling me Michael Venom Page would look halfway decent against a Justin Gaethje, against a Dustin Poirier? Again, he'd get his clock cleaned by these guys.
yeah,
So I'm just over it. I was excited when he came in. I remember me and you talking about it. I was like, all right, I'm pumped to see what he can do in the UFC. I've been kind of waiting to see this for years. Within, what is this, his third fight?
mm-hmm.
Third or fourth? Um,
Page.
yeah.
That was his
Like,
second fight.
no, I thought he had another one, didn't he?
Yeah, like 2 pay-per-views ago, he had his first fight, and he fought I forgot who he fought, but he won easily. But it was not that.
But it was boring.
Yeah, it was boring.
I'm over it.
Just like these next two fights that I'm gonna skip over because nobody cares about these guys. Macy Chielsen versus Myra Bueno. Nobody cares. Anthony Smith, you are way past your prime. Just give up. Quit fighting.
Like, Anthony Smith has 20 losses. Like, dude, it's time to give it up, bro.
Like, yeah, he almost beat John Jones that one time, and ever since then, it's just been a downhill trend. He probably kicked my ass though, but you ain't kicking anybody else's ass in the UFC though. Yeah, he's probably never gonna win a championship in the UFC. So just worry about your mental health at that point. Which that sucks as a fighter because that's how you make your money. But he's also a commentator in the UFC. So
Yeah, he could commentate. He's a likable guy.
yeah.
Like, so go that route. I don't need to see you fight anymore. All right. What about the next one?
Next one, which it was Diego Lopez versus Dan Ige. So fun fact about that card: he was supposed to fight Brian Ortega, and
Hmm.
um, I think an hour or two before the show, before the main event, Brian Ortega canceled the fight. He said he got sick. He had body aches, shiver me timbers,
So a
and
bad weight cut, basically.
probably, and which I think he missed weight, and they moved the fight to 155, and then he, got sick, and then he just stepped in an hour's notice at 155. They moved the fight at 155, and he just stepped up, and
And
they put
took
on a
it to
fucking show.
decision. Took it to decision. Didn't get knocked out. Didn't get finished.
Yep. And I heard it was a
So
great fight. So
I think that honestly says more about Eag than it does about I mean, Lopez is good. We know this.
yep,
Like
beast.
we know Diego Lopez is good. And it's not his fault. Like nothing bad on
Yep.
him. He did everything he was supposed to do. But I think this says more about Eag that like and which I have no idea if we're saying his name correctly or not.
Yeah.
But I think it says more about him that he jumped in with an hour's notice and took the fight the distance
He was probably just in
with
the stands
Diego
wanting to watch the
Lopez,
fight.
who's no slouch. Like,
No, that guy's on a tear.
so, yeah. So I think this good on both fighters. Diego Lopez, you did everything you were supposed to do. You got the result you were
Mhm.
supposed to get. Um, but Eag, shout out, give this guy another high profile fight if he's gonna.
They're actually running it back on
Good,
on
good.
featherweight. These two guys, they're gonna do it again with a full training camp. So that's gonna be cool. Deserve it. Give them good money for it too.
Which like that next fight could really go either way, right? Because
Yeah.
logically, you're thinking, well, Dan Eag took it the whole. He took it the distance with an hour's notice. Give him a full training camp. He's going to come in and wreck shop, right? But you
So
also have to think about, well, yeah, Diego Lopez spent a whole training camp preparing for Ortega, who has a very signature style. And that's what he was prepping for. And then he fights a completely different guy on an hour's notice. It's like it could really go either way.
so here's the judge's decision. It was 29-28, 29-28, 29-28 to Diego Lopez. So I mean, Dan won one round. So shout out to Dan. Just run it back. Pay more money. They saved the card. They made that card not so shitty. And now let's talk about the main event.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk
Poatan
about
Chama.
Powhatan being the scariest man alive.
Scariest man alive. There is some dark juju around him. That's what Jew is saying, like, hey, don't bring that dark magic around me when we fight. And I don't know. That left hand from the jungles of Brazil knocked him out. They should have just stopped that fight
They should have. It
because
was over.
that boy was on Queer Street and
But that kick,
that kid
it looked so effortless. Like he
to the
just
face. Dude, it looked like
flicked his foot up there.
and then when Jerry tried to get up, he just wobbled. Oh,
Yeah.
he's like
He
that
had to like get
hurt.
caught by like two other guys. But
I would, yeah. And then just he's talking about either retiring or going back to the drawing board, figuring something out. But that's a scary, scary man. And the reward for stepping up since this was supposed to be the Conor McGregor card. He stepped up in 2 weeks' notice. Both of these guys did. We're gonna
I think that Yuri should go back to the I don't think it's time for him to retire. I think he's still a force in that division. He just happened to come across like he just can't beat the guy, but that doesn't mean that you have no value in that division, you know?
mm-hmm.
Like I could easily see him getting the title back at some point.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to beat Powhatan to get it, but you know,
And now there's talks since uh Pereira stepped up to save the card that he gets the third title uh fight at least. So if he wins that fight, he will be the legit 3-time champ. because Triple C was that because he got that gold medal. But to win the title in like the heavy divisions, that's crazy. Because someone can knock you out at any moment.
Yeah. So, do we see him fighting Jones? Like, do we think Jones is ever going to fight again?
He's fighting. He supposedly got announced September or November. He's fighting Stip,
Aspinall?
Stipich. Stipich.
Why?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. They told him to get either Aspinall or him, and he chose Stipich. So I'm like, dude, come on! I want to see you fight that. That dude hasn't fought in 3 years or two and a half, something like that. Someone was saying like he hasn't fought in 2 years. So
I have what might be a hot take, and you might call me a moron, but I think that John Jones is scared to fight Aspinall. And if he's scared to fight Aspinall, he's definitely scared to fight Powhatan.
yeah,
Like,
he was saying that he wants to fight the guy with the biggest name, so you get paid more. And you can't right now. The hottest hand in the UFC, all of MMA, is Poatan Chama. So I don't know. That everyone thinks he retires after that fight with Stipich. So
and I will go to my grave saying he was ducking Powhatan.
oh yeah, and shit, we might get Poatan versus Espinal for the title if John Jones does decide to retire.
Which,
It's
if that's the
scary, man.
case, I think Aspinall is really good,
Hmm.
but I just don't think anybody's beating Powhatan right now.
Not with that dark Brazilian magic, no sir, no
I
sir.
do want to see him versus Izzy 3, or I guess technically 4.
Like 7, 8. I don't know how many times they fought already,
Yeah,
but
yeah. How many times they fought in kickboxing, I don't
yeah,
know, but
I think
within the UFC, it would be 3.
yep, 1-1, 1-1. I just love all the hype videos because they all start with Izzy saying, "Oh, that's the one guy that he's probably in a bar somewhere saying I beat that guy once," and now that's all he says. Like, I beat that guy once. I beat Pereira once. Or I knocked him out once. So
Yeah,
they're destined to do it forever. And I think if Pereira wins all 3 belts, like he has to fight Izzy just to just beat him one more time and just say like, dude, I'm out. Like I did everything I wanted to do. I'm gonna go retire and go be a Native American in Brazil.
go do some more voodoo magic.
Yeah, go do some. Love that entrance, by the way.
I like the.
Oh, you remember when Izzy caught it? He's like, oh, I caught it, and then he got knocked out.
It what I'm not an Izzy fan. I've never really have been. I don't
Mhm.
hate him by any means. He's just never been my favorite fighter. But whenever whenever he did knock out Perea and he did the triple shot, like I
Yeah,
was like, that's pretty dope. I was like, that's pretty cool.
I don't even know what the next card is for the UFC. Let's find out. Wow, they haven't even announced the July card. Like, there's not even anybody on there.
It's probably gonna be Dana being like, I'm gonna blow your effing minds, and then it's gonna
Oh, I
be
think
like,
it's Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad, which I don't care about.
there's another thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Let me hear it.
Since the guy that Islam was supposed to fight next is now suspended or something.
Who?
Hang on, let me see.
Pull out the old Google.
Uh, um, that guy Armon.
Hmm. Suspended, huh?
Let me see.
Biddies. There's literally nobody in that division that I can see beating Islam. Maybe Charles Oliveira. Maybe.
Yeah, so Armon is suspended and fined for a fan altercation
Oh yeah.
at UFC 300, and he was supposed to be next up to fight Islam. I'm seeing talks of a Poirier Islam 2. What do we think?
You're 0-2. Uh,
Or yeah, that would be 3, right? Or
3.
no,
Yeah.
they
He's 0-2
have
against them.
they had fought already?
Yeah, the first one he choked them out in like a round or two, and then the last one that he went and at it all 5 rounds, but tore his ACL, all fucked up.
The Poirier fan in me wants to see it.
Of course. But
Dustin Poirier is my favorite fighter. But I also think it's like it's time to know when enough is enough. And like we've talked about it before,
mm-hmm.
I think there's still a couple of fights to make for Poirier. I think a Connor 4, if we can ever get Connor to take another fight.
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I think another Gaethje fight for like the BMF title. I think a Max Holloway fight makes a lot of sense. Um, I just don't see this making sense. Like, it was a great fight. You took it to the 5th round. You gave Islam more, damage than just about anybody else. Um,
True. That elbow.
I just think I don't see a second fight getting a different result. Like, I just don't see it, and that hurts me to say because I love Dustin Poirier, but
You're the worst fan in the world.
it's like, well, it's also like I don't want it to taint his legacy. Like, what if he goes in there and you know Islam knocks him out or gets the same result again? It's like, what does that do to his legacy? Like, it's kind of like, oh yeah, you should have known when to give it up. But like as of right now, his legacy is like, yeah, dude, you went out kind of taking it the distance with the scariest guy in the UFC. Like, sure, you didn't win, but you put up a great fight and you went the distance, kind of ride off into the sunset now. Like, you had a good run, but I feel like another loss to Islam would taint the legacy. So,
I definitely agree with that. I mean, he looked. I kind of regret that he beat that one dude, that French guy, because that would have been a great fight for Islam. Remember that guy that wrestled him, who was beating him, and then he just knocked him out.
yeah.
Like that would have been a good fight versus Islam. Just a bunch of wrestling going on, but man, like I said, there's really nobody in that division that I want to see fight Islam, and he's gonna dominate him. Give me Conor McGregor versus Poirier for winner fights for the title, because like there's nobody there, and Charles lost his last fight.
I would like to see Dustin beat Connor one more time. I think it'd be hilarious. But
Your wife in my DMs.
You got anything else you want to talk about? We're coming up on an hour.
Nah, man, I'm good. Like I said, I don't see anybody that can. We got Arman, he's suspended. Charles Oliveira at 2. Justin Gaethje at 3. Dustin Poirier at 4. Michael Chandler at 6. Yeah, man, this is nobody in that division.
I could see them giving Michael Chandler a title shot just because he put his career on hold for 2 years to fight Connor and it didn't happen. So, like, shoot, give him a shot at the title at this point. Like,
yeah, they were saying
he's going to lose, but whatever.
Some people were saying he was still at UFC 303 trying to wait for Conor McGregor to show up. Leave my
That
wife alone.
that fight's never gonna happen. But
It's cursed. It's a cursed UFC fight.
all right, this has been Wrestle Wednesday and a little bit of UFC Wednesday live with the OG crew, just Johnny the Dad and Angel Kicks Balls. And guys, please like, comment, and subscribe to all things athletically declined sports. Check out our AD Gaming channel. Check out AD Media, where we do movie reviews and reality TV reviews and stuff of that nature. And check out our sponsors, Baseballism. We will be doing a lot of stuff with Baseballism here in a couple weeks for the MLB All Star game. A couple of us are going to be in Dallas doing some fun stuff with them, so check that out. And also check out Ice Shaker, the best shaker in the biz. Keep your drink ice cold and makes the best protein shakes that money can buy. So check those out. And guys, like we always say here at Split Decision, violence
Violence.
is always the answer. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.
We didn't split them.